Okay. Before I put on a date, I want to give you a little food for thought. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, huh? Who said that? Anyway, I thought I heard a noise. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, I went to a mountain lake with my daddy, a lake that had been built back in the boondocks in the mountains of North Carolina. And it was built back in, it filled up in about 1916. So when they got a road back into there, about 1921, my daddy and a couple other fellows built a lodge up on the mountain. And I was up there. He'd take me up there fishing. You had to go down a long hill down to the wooden boats that were tied up down in the hill there. And he used to ride the train up and get off the train and walk in, but a road had been put in, and where he built this, up on the hill, he built this lodge. And I'd go down there bluegill fishing, sunfish fishing. I was either 5 or 6, I remember it as yesterday. And my daddy had always asked me, he says, and the other boys, the other gentlemen, why is it that you only catch big bluegills or big sunfish? And my answer was, I fish for them. Now, what I would do as a little fellow, I'd go down there and get in one of the boats that all around up here and try to catch a bluegill. And I couldn't get one. The water was very clear. And so I started playing, jumping from boat to boat to boat, and then I jumped back boat to boat to boat, and I looked down and I saw a bluegill. So I saw a whole lot of them. And I saw only a little one right up next to the boat. And I see the big one down there. So I wait my foot on the worm, and I put it right out in front of that big one's nose, and he takes it like it's it. Later on in life, I was went white perch fishing in a lake down in eastern North Carolina. I was still a little fellow, and we were out trying to catch white perch, and we weren't doing any good. And I started playing in the water, and I started beating the side of the boat, and my daddy said, hey, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And after a while, I couldn't stand it no longer, so I started beating the side of the boat again, and pretty soon we were catching white perch. I quit, and we kept catching them. So I started beating the motors in, and we started catching them. Now, as I grew a little bit older, in my cane pole days, I'd ride a bicycle out to the lake, and I'd bait in the hole, and I'd go and catch catfish or carp. I still a pretty young fellow. But when I go out there, the first thing I do, I pile me up a pretty big pile of rocks. I take my bait out there and stick it all over the ground. And I wait, no light, I reach and get a rock. I throw a rock out there. And then get a light, I throw 2 or 3 out there. Pretty soon, I'll be catching fish. If it did slow down at least a little bit, I'll throw some more rocks. We were fishing later on, I got a little older, we went to Florida on a fishing trip. We were fishing, this is just the first instance, and we were fishing in a lake near Lake Florida. And what we do, they had some floating islands out, and I had some lily pads, but they had some weed beds, but we put on a big old shiner, and we throw it up against the weed, up close to the floating island. It'd sit there a while. But I kept thinking back, so when I went out there, I took an extra king pole. I didn't put no line on it. So I put my shiner up there, and if a fish didn't come get it pretty good, I'd take that pole and I'd beat the devil out of water. I'd wait a little bit, and I'd beat the water again, and zoom, they had it. We caught a lot of bass, but we had to beat the water a hell of a lot. Later on, I was trolling the carrier on Valley in southern Indiana, and he was running the boat, and we were working this certain places. In fact, we were working part of the river out in some other places too. The weather was good, the water color was good, and so he was trolling, and pretty soon I had a bass. And so we got that. Went trolling again. Pretty soon I had a bass. Pretty soon I had another bass. And he never got mad. He didn't get mad. He said, I don't keep getting on around and back before you get the fish. And I said, you haven't been keeping me out all those over. I said, now you watch what I do. So I said, get going. And he started getting out of his line, going down, getting out of his line, and I had fish. And I said, listen, now watch me. I said, don't even let your line out. Just watch what I do. So he started up it, and I went out running, and I got right in the ball of the motor, and I stopped. I said, now, you understand? I had a fish before you got your line out. Later on, as I got older, I was fishing up in Rainy Lake. This is just one example. Rainy Lake up at International Falls. And I remember I get hung up in the rocks. And I go back, not over it, goes down about 4 or 5 feet, and the motor was sitting there, pop, 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 pop. I was just in neutral, and I was trying to get the thing loose, pop, 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 and I jerked it loose, and bang, a small amount took it. Guess I caught my fish that day. Later on, fishing in Florida, me and a lot of Tom Coleman, he does this very much all over. Fishing in Florida, I found out that a lot of times I'd run a big lure on the short line. And with those pictures you saw of that group catching all those fish out there, where Frank Hamill and the rest of us had a big group of others on frogs were catching, the mass of all those big fish were caught on a short line with a 700 around 25 on a 30 right behind the boat. Because all of the big fish were caught on that short line. And when they jumped, it was like a kite on a string. The whole thing was out of the water. I don't want my fish to see my line. I want him to know I'm around. I do not want to spook a fish by trying to sneak up on him. That's the worst thing you can do. If I'm casting shoreline and I see a good stump up there, I'm going to make a lot of racket before I cast that stump. I'm going to make a lot of racket down here, and I'm going to beat the bottom of the boat if I have to before I make my cast there. Now what I'm driving at is this. I found out, started to observe this when I was a little fellow. And over the years I put it together and it got better and better. My job is to get the lure of the fish to see my lure. To get it close enough for the fish to see my lure. And if I got the right speed, I expect him to take it. Now, how much better it would be if the fish was looking for my lure? I think that's enough said. Let's see.